welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with Jackie Ray Phillips here on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateDradio.net. Here on the Poetry of Justice show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying,
YikesRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the very sultry sounds of my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. And I always love to give Mr. Nash a very special shout out, because if it were not for his brainchild here at Accelerated Radio, it would be impossible for me to do what I so love to do here. So I want to give that very special shout out, ladies and gentlemen. And then I have to give a special shout out to our other sponsorship. That is Lori G, the benefactor, ladies and gentlemen, of Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company. Sissy's not here with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. She's out of town, so we just want to go ahead and wish her a very nice time out of town. So I just went ahead and give her a very special shout out. And then we want to give a very special shout out to G Babies Catering LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, you can locate Chef Mac on Instagram. Again, that is at GBABBIES Catering LLC. And again, you want to take a look at Chef Mac there, ladies and gentlemen. And then as we roll on down, I'd like to give a very special shout out to who we call here the Man of Steel, ladies and gentlemen. That is WMP J Steelworks. We call him Mimo around these parts, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, he's got that very new facility over there. And he is at APS Muscle Cars, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new get down he's got going on in Signal Hill, California. He's got those restorations going on. Brand new, what you want to do, a custom rebuild. You may want to bring your low rider to it, or you may want to bring a hot rod, whatever you want when it comes to cars and muscle toys. He's the guy you want to talk to. So again, you want to check out APSmusclecars.com. And that's the Man of Steel, Mimo, ladies and gentlemen. That's just what we do here on the Poetry of Justice show. So we're going to go on ahead and get this thing off and get it rolling and have a great time tonight. How you doing, Rashid?
I'm just doing fantastic right now. This is it's gonna be one of those very interesting nights, I can already tell.
You can feel it?
Yeah.
Well, we're here, Rashid. We coming in a little bit later this evening. You know, it was a little bit turbulence on the way here, but we made it. I have an exciting show for us tonight, everyone. Very, very excited. I called this a blended show, and when I say that, I'm blending. We're doing arts and we're doing business, and we're going to be doing a lot of things with this show tonight. Generally, I've just been in a box, more or less. I shouldn't say generally, but mostly it's like, okay, well, our topic is films, right? And we just talk about films, nothing else, only films for that entire time. But I think it's time for the show, because we hit our 5-year mark, and we've been blessed to team with Lord Rock. I call him the legendary Lord Rock around these parts, and we're also teamed with Star and Crescent Casting. So it's time for us just to continue to make these changes, because we've got so many people, and I just thank the Lord for that. He says life in abundance to the full, to the overflow. And by the grace of God, we are most definitely living in the overflow. So I thank him for that. So we've got to start blending the shows now. So we've got more people coming through the doors. And so by that, I just wanted to welcome everyone tonight. When I look at our roster, I have a beautiful lady in the house tonight, and she happens to be kidding me down the trough. How are you doing, beautiful? You doing good tonight, Miss Trinice?
April? I'm doing lovely. Happy to be here.
Yes, you're so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, I have in the house tonight none other than Lord Rocka. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. Happy to be on the show. And it's going to be a wonderful conversation that we're going to have.
You see all of
I'm
this?
excited about the guests we're having. Oh, look at that.
I'm not playing.
You're not playing? That's Miss Jackie Ray Phillips. Okay?
Sorry about that. We're going to turn those off. I know. We're going to have a good time tonight. A funky good time. Well, and then now I look. Hi, Eric. How are you doing tonight, ladies? We have our audience back tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. The Poetry of Justice show. We're doing it big again, guys. We're having a good time. And so, well, I'm really super duper excited about this entire show. But right now, I have to my right tonight. I have none other than screenwriter Jordan Bridges.
How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
Doing good. I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Looking good, doing good, feeling good.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Yes.
so how I understand that I'm gonna read your bio. Jordan, do you mind handing me that phone there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can get to this one much quicker. I can get to it quick. So we kind of be a little authentic on the show tonight. So we're just going to take our time. Usually, and Rashid could tell you, I usually be running around like a, you know what, with my head cut off. So I'm trying to keep it together. But I wanted everyone to know because we're going to go in depth.
Okay.
And then we're going to get to April, and we're going to have a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen who's listening in and in the studio tonight, Jordan Bridges is a screenwriter from Louisville, Kentucky. He was born on December 27, 1965, to parents Michelle and Phil. Jordan has always been an avid reader of fiction, beginning at a very young age. That love for reading spurred into an interest in writing, landing him to write his first play. This is what I can't understand. At the age of 6, I'm going to say it again, his very first play at the age of 6. Throughout his life, he would continue to create his own stories inspired by his own imagination and the world around him. He graduated from the University of Louisville in 2018 with a bachelor's degree in English with a minor in creative writing. After graduating, Jordan shortly relocated to Los Angeles, California, where he now resides. Me and the Dragon's Daughter has been one of the multiple screenplays he has written since his arrival. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, without further ado, Jordan Bridges.
Wow.
I
Thank you
know,
for that.
right? How exciting.
What an introduction.
Well, it's your bio. I don't know what you want me to do. I want to just dive in. Well, you know what? I'm going to be fair. And so, Lord, I want April. When you hear that bio, where you go? What is your mind going on? I want to get that bit. This is our businesswoman of the house tonight. We got our entrepreneur in the house. So. There you go.
I was interested in the year, the birthday first.
Okay.
Because you don't look like.
No, it's 95.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 1995.
I did. I tripped out.
Oh, you said 65?
Yeah,
Said
well,
65. What the hell? Okay, now it's not me. It can't be.
Black people don't cry,
Right?
right?
No, it's
Okay, I'm like, he looked like he can be my son, right? Because my oldest is 28.
That's that old age. Me.
No, but
Seasonal.
just excited to see a young man. And as a screenwriter, as a playwriter, my son is actually going to school. My youngest son was 25.
Really?
And that's something that he wants to pursue. He wants to pursue producing and writing and things of that nature. So I'm just excited to hear, more about your journey.
Yeah. Man, where do I begin? Like, we start at the beginning where, you saw that I had written that play. That's like the first thing I ever wrote. I was just in my grandparents' house, and they lived in Chicago, and I was just, and I think that play was kind of like the black version of Little House on the Prairie. I think I have it somewhere, but I had just gotten bored one day and just, got on the computer and just wrote the whole thing out. I think my grandparents still have that to this day. They'll never get rid of that. But really from there, it just kind of I was, like I said, an avid reader. I read a lot, a lot of fiction books when I was younger, and I watched a lot of movies. I used to my dad would take us over my uncle's house, who was a very avid movie watcher and watched all kinds of movies. My favorite director is Quentin Tarantino.
I like
Oh, we're gonna have some fun tonight, y'all.
Yes, I
We're
like
gonna do
it.
movie trivia.
Yes, and I know my favorite movie is probably Kill Bill. And I remember the first time I ever saw that was over his house, and I just remember that so vividly. And that's when
Can you tell us why?
I just think it was the story, the cinematography, the acting, the music in the film. It was just so different than anything I had seen at that point. And it was just kind of man, I want to create something like that. I just thought it was so different. And also, my cousins, his sons, they were also into movies and stuff. They introduced me to a lot of stuff. I don't think they understand how important they were in my becoming what I do now. Is a lot of that comes from them.
Yes.
They showed me a lot of foreign films, a lot of films from South Korea, and some of those are my favorite films I've seen to this day. So it's just all the different art forms that I've come across.
Yes.
And that's why, you know, in college I like, because I originally went in to be physical therapy, but like halfway through I realized, you know, I love to do this writing, you know, thing. So I switched the major and I started getting into more creative writing classes. And then once I graduated, I just came out here and started writing, like learning how to actually write scripts, because that's a whole different story. Like it's a whole different, like, you know, the technical aspect of like making sure it's like a good script, you know. And I had to learn, you know, how to do that. And actually,
what was that journey like for you, though? Can you expound on that?
It was like, you know, I think I had to do a lot of like a research, just like a formatting and things like that. You want to make sure that the script, you know, follows the plot and the pacing's good. You know, you have to build character arcs, and it just has to have, you know, there's so many elements to it that you have to make sure it's in there for it to be a good script, you know, because that's the beginning, that's the foundation, you know, for a good movie. You know, it has to start there. So
who does the judging on that? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's considered a good script? Like, who quantifies that, if you will?
I mean, I guess
when you say to yourself, okay, this is it, like as a, you know, as a poet, or you go, you know, this is it, you know, how do you know that? When you did Me and the Dragon's Daughter, where did that come from?
That actually was a short at first. Like that was I think the second or third scene. I think the second scene of the movie was actually the first thing I wrote. And I just left it there because I was just gonna make it like a short, and I just eventually just came back to it and started building on it. And it's about, I think what makes a good script is good like character arcs. You build the characters, you know, build them in a way that the audience can relate to them. You have a clear point of like beginning to end. Like it goes somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it just has to build, and you have to be able to follow it, and you know, really get the audience to just you know, put themselves in there, you know, to where they're invested in it. So I think that's like the most important part. Yeah.
My goodness, I was going to ask you, Miss April, did you have anything you wanted to ask? Where's my notes? I've got so much more, but
Yes, I wanted to know what's your next upcoming project that you're working on?
I've been writing a lot for most of everything I've done is for this production company, this new production company that was founded by, I just want to say, Wesley Pate Jr. It's called A New Enterprise Inc. It's a new production company, and I've been writing a lot of things for them. They're an up and coming, and but we started working on this last feature that I wrote. It's called Children of Elena. And what she was in it.
Children of Elena. That is going to be most definitely. It's going viral.
It's in production right now. That's the latest thing that I've had, you know, produced. That was in production. So, you know, and I love that story. And I got, you know, I got other things I'm working on too. Just, you know, I want to get back into. I've written a lot of action. Like you see, Children of Elena is action. Me and Dragon Star is action. But I want to get more into back into the drama field. I love to write drama, actually.
That is so amazing, so multi-talented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but look, I have a question, and then I'm going to switch reels a little bit. And the question is, I know we wrote the story, and I understand you wrote your first story at the age of 6. But what age were you when you knew and fully could comprehend your passion for your work?
I would say probably 21.
21?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because before that, I think I was really just trying to find, especially with school and everything, I'm trying to find my career. Because, you know, how we were kind of raised, like, you know, go to school, get a, you know, good career, make a lot of money. So that's like kind of where my mind was. But, you know, I think, like I said, halfway through college, I just had to kind of realize, like, if you really want to do something, you just kind of got to go for it. So, and I know that writing and creating is my passion. So I just had to take my chance at it, you know.
Okay, I got to tell everybody this story. That's how it kind of low key went for me with your movie Children of Elena, right? So I started out as an extra. So, you know, we were always going to be extras. I was like, okay, got my outfit ready to be my little extra. We're sitting there like la 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 la, right? So then our director comes in and he tells us, he goes, man, 2 people, all I know is 2 people who were supposed to be there that was like, had a get down, a full get down is what I'm saying. They weren't there. And so I was like, and so he was like, you know, the director's like, well, if you guys, are anybody out here that might want to get, my sister keeps saying upgraded, you know, to the next role, to another role. And so he goes, it's for a police officer, you know, if anybody, he goes, we've got one for a female and one for a male, if anybody's interested. So I was like, sitting there like, well, and I looked around and the other ladies didn't raise their hand. I was like, sissy myself, like, fuck, I'm going for mine. I was like, I'm going for mine, you know what I mean? And he was like, well, let's just see if the uniform work. If it fit. I was like, okay, if it fit, it's on. Why it fit? And it was a little baggy up in here, but I don't give a damn. I was like, shucks. And they messed around and put me. It's too much. I ain't been right since. You can't tell me nothing right now. I'm just saying. So.
That's good,
You a
though.
starrer.
With the aura. Thank you so much, Jordan.
Definitely.
So I
And you
get
did good.
that. Did see?
Yeah.
Did you see me? Did you see? No, on the real. On the real. Did I look like okay? Like okay?
Like about to arrest somebody, you know?
Pray for me. Okay, that's exciting. All right, beautiful lady. How are you doing over here? Sis, you doing good?
I am enjoying myself. Okay, I am enjoying myself. That's what I'm doing.
You know you got to bring your sister next
Yes.
time. Holy moly.
Yeah, she's in Mexico relaxing. Right, she left me.
That's right. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a very beautiful guest in the house tonight. And I'm going to call her April, and she can decide to introduce to her listeners and our listeners and everyone here tonight how she would like to be. But she's April to me. She's been April. I've known April for about 35 years now.
Ooh, long time.
Right?
Ooh.
And so family is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it
And
is.
it's just watching it grow, and me seeing and watching your family grow is just beautiful. And
Aw,
beautiful
thank you.
grandbaby, just awesome addition. So
You should see my face, Mrs. Smith. The ugly granny face.
No, beautiful lady. So do your thing, Queen, and we're going to talk about your products. But yeah, do you. Let's do
Okay,
you
I'm going to
tonight.
put my mask down for a minute.
Of course.
Well, once again, my name is April Colbert, and I'm just so honored to be here. I thank you for inviting me to your first blended show. Woo woo, right? I blend right in wherever you need me. I'm
Exactly.
blending in. But I have actually two businesses. I have an all-natural skincare business that's called Essentially Yours, all-natural skincare. And then I also, during COVID, I created Trinesis Teas. So
Okay.
I used to be a pharmacy technician like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And went into accounting, kind of left the pharmaceutical business because, you know, hospitals are 24/7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I missed my kids' first Thanksgiving, and I was like, I need a job that's going to be there when schools are closed, when, you know, so
Yeah,
I can be,
right.
yeah, I can be with the kids, because all of my kids now are grown, range from 25 to 28. I have two beautiful grandchildren, one 4, Maya, and my little baby Dylan. He's 7 months. And so I was with Xerox for about 21 years, and they kind of shut down the education side. And that was in 2019. So that's when I kind of went into my business full time. Because a lot of things that we do, and I'm going to type us, you know, as
Okay.
people, most products are not made for us. And a lot of products are made with so many different synthetic ingredients that it causes more problems than what we know. If you think about it, I tell people, what is the largest organ on your body or in your body? Oh, sorry about that. That's actually your skin. And your skin,
didn't know that.
yeah, your skin absorbs 60 to 80% of what you put on your body. And a lot of times have you ever put lotion on and you look 20 minutes later and you're just ashy as all outdoors?
Right.
And we go to Jergens, we go to Vaseline intensive,
Eucerin.
yeah, things that are supposed to lock in the moisture, but they don't, right? And we'll end up with psoriasis and, I'll never say it right. Eczema. Yeah, I can never say that. I don't know why. But we end up with all these different skin problems because we need moisture in our skin. So that's what kind of birthed Essentially Yours all natural skincare. And because I used to be in IV tech and work in the field for about 2 years and just saw how pharmaceutical is just so, it's corrupt, whether we know it or not. It's a corrupt business. You'll get medication for, you have high blood pressure, we're going to give you a pill, but we're not going to tell you it's going to corrupt your kidneys.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to
cure me.
Yeah, it's not a cure, it's a cover-all, right? So then I began to start making facial moisturizers, pain oils for it. Yes, and I bought you some.
Girl, because you know I got chronic pain.
Oh, do you? Oh, see, I got you a little
that
little
means you gotta
sample.
take
These are
William
just like
with you.
little minis. Yeah, these
William,
are
that would be
yours.
the chronic pain. Are you taking William Mimo with you? That would be.
You can share with them.
I
Okay.
understand it,
Share.
baby.
Okay, so I brought you like little packages. I'm on my little Facebook, hey buddy. So I have natural all astringent wipes. You know how back in the day you had Noxzema wipes. I don't know if y'all use that.
I do
And they
remember.
used to put them on your face and it's to burn your whole skin off.
Yeah, girl.
Okay, this is a natural.
I know. right?
This is a
It should be
natural
on
form
fire.
of
You'd be
yes. You'd be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But
And
then you kept using the shit though.
yeah,
Right.
because you know it's because they told you it was.
They told it was good for
Yeah, it was good for you, right? I also have a head to toe scrub, and the head to toe scrub is made. Yeah, it's made with
You gotta
coconut
get the
sugar.
logo. Let everybody see your logo. Everybody, we gotta make sure. Yes.
I don't know what camera I'm on. Okay, there we go. And so, this head to toe scrub is antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral. Most of my products, they are made with essential oils that are antibacterial, antiviral, antimicrobial. And I use this on my face. I use it on my feet. I use it before I shave, like under my arms, because it stops razor bumps. My oldest son uses it before he shaves because you know you shave and you get those razor bumps. So you want to, apply it to your face, your skin. If you got those dry feet.
I have got you. You gotta keep
Yes.
talking. Just keep talking about that because I want to make sure we get you on Instagram Live. I gotta go to the gram. I gotta
Okay,
make sure.
so a lot of these products were made with the intent to make sure that you can still meet whatever you need to meet in the beauty world, just not with all of the chemicals that you can't pronounce because it's horrible. I mean, do we know how much deodorant is linked to cancer? It always was a wonder to me, how do men get breast cancer? Right? And so I'm like, men get breast cancer? They don't have breast. But it's been shown that it's linked to deodorant because deodorant is what? It's an antiperspirant. Anything that says anti is against. It's against sweating. And so it eventually begins to clog up your lymphatic and your sweat glands. Wow. And when it does that, where does it go? In your body.
To the body.
It goes back into your body. And so we just need to be more conscious of things that we do every day that the world has made natural. I mean, it's natural. Like people have their babies at 6 years old. She stinks. I'm going to put deodorant on her. So just imagine from the age of 6 to 30 and 40, you're wearing deodorant for years. You have not sweated. And this, yes. And it goes back into your body. And when you exercise, what do you want to do?
Sweat.
Because you want to sweat, right? Because sweat releases the toxins from your body. And if you put antiperspirant up under your arms year after year after year after year, that is going back into your body and it's going to have an adverse reaction. Yeah. And in the long run, it's not an immediate thing. It's kind of like, they say sugar is the number one drug in America. You don't look at it as a drug, right? But it's very, very, you crave it and you want it. You ever been sitting there like, oh, I ate dinner, good dinner. I want something sweet.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You always want something sweet. I be wanting something sweet.
Yes. You're like, I need something sweet.
Oh, I want some
right?
Cheesecake Factory.
Yes. So we have been conditioned so much in this world to think everything is normal that we don't question it because, I say when you go back, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, right? And I'm like, we as us, I'm gonna say us. We know how to take nothing and make it into something.
We do,
right? We
For
do.
sure.
When
sure.
My grandmother used to talk about like her mother, like they would throw all the stuff from the pigs out. They started making chitlins, because they had to eat.
We had to do something.
Okay, right? So when you wanted to grease up, you took the fat from a pig and you rubbed it on yourself, right? To make sure that you were greased and your child wasn't looking ashy, right? And then they start marketing things to you and they make it normal. They make it normal, right?
Right.
When I was a pharmacy technician going through school, my teacher said, why does the Food and Drug Administration, why are they one? Ever thought about that?
I never broke it down. You just programmed to just roll with it.
Come on
right?
now. what does
Talk to
food have to do with drugs? So she said, they put stuff in your food and they make drugs to counter it. Look into it. Don't trust me.
No, well, yeah.
Look into it for yourself. So I'm just
Does that
really
talk a little bit about the industry for just healthcare in and of itself and why things are what they are?
because
there,
I
you
mean
know?
because that's just how America is. It's kind of like it's one of those
capitalist.
things when you grow up into something, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal for you to, like I said, let's go back to deodorant. It's normal for you to wear deodorant. It's normal for you because we've been conditioned
And programmed.
Yes, and programmed in that. So, I'm just one little person trying to create something that can still work for you that's natural. And everything is made from essential oils. So going back to, this is the ache no more. This is the pain oil. You rub it wherever you're feeling pain. I just say no openings. No hee-hees, no ha-has, none of that.
Right.
Just keep it away from your nose, your eyes, your mouth, things of that nature, because it's still essential oils and it still can burn. Peppermint, eucalyptus, different oils like that. But, carrier oils might be coconut oil, might be olive oil, things that are, that you can pronounce.
Right.
Yeah, right? You're
For
not
sure.
worrying where it's coming from, what synthetic
Derivative.
where it comes from, because we really don't pay attention, right? We take Motrin, Motrin, Advil, ibuprofen, all the same thing,
Yeah.
one generic, one brand. Yeah, so you just have to be
still
careful,
let you
but
down.
it still will jack you up in the long run. You will begin to have stomach issues. Most people
Right.
will pop those pills without eating food, right? You have nothing to digest that in. So it's kind of like we think about certain things, but we don't think about everyday things. So I think I also brought you an all-natural hand sanitizer. This was created for my grandbabies because, alcohol sanitizers are great, especially during this time, but they're not good for little hands. They're not good for little people because they can get alcohol poisoning. And so I love this. I use it to spray my mask, my hand, my cart when I'm walking around because, like I said, once again, it's antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral. I think about these things, and this is what I've been using during COVID. Yeah, to make sure,
Well, I've been watching your business grow, which is why I was like, I've got to call Sis in and get her into the spot. Gotta make
you
it
know
happen.
what? And I just give God all glory because everything comes from Him.
Amen.
Everything comes from Him. I mean, I got started because He gave me an idea. Somebody said, "Oh, my granddaughter has warts." And we've taken her to the doctor. They've tried to freeze them off. They tried to do this, they tried to do that. Can you make something? So that's how my anti-oil came about. I made my own deodorant because my oldest son, started having bumps up under his arms. Because after a while, you start using these deodorants, they start coming out. And a lot of people deal with underarm bumps and things like that more than what we think about.
Got it.
And the burns too, right? You can get burns. You can burn your skin with that.
So you have to really be careful, but a lot of people don't recognize that when you go off of regular deodorant, you have to detox because all those toxins begin to come out of your body.
So like you need to probably go into a steam room or something like that. Huh?
Well, I actually made a detox spray before you start switching over from natural, from regular deodorant to natural, that you need to detox for at least 2 weeks. And people just don't want to smell, but I said, I tell people, let me go ahead and maintain, because I don't want to be dealing with cancer. Cancer is still real, even though we're in the middle of COVID. Cancer is still real, diabetes is still real, high blood pressure is still real. People are, it's still
getting
stuff
sick,
going
and
on.
the hospitals are so backed up. They don't even want to see you, and then the care is not.
It's not
very
there.
Quality.
No, it's not there.
It's just.
So take care of
we have to
yourself.
be
Yeah,
good.
maintain your own health and look into what's going to be beneficial for you in the long run. Because, I tell my kids, all of my kids, they use my products. And their friends in college, my youngest son graduated from Howard. So I even have kids from Howard using, the skin products and things of that nature. I said, because you don't want to wait until you're 40 to have an epiphany. Like, I was in my late 30s, but look how long I've been using these products. And your body has to flush these things out. So,
Now we got to do a show on detoxing, April. Oh my God!
But I do have you a little goodie bag here.
Stinky girl. Nobody's gonna come to the show.
no. Because after you detox, you're gonna go to a natural deodorant, and you're gonna learn. Your body's gonna learn how to
Retrain.
adjust. Yes, you have to retrain your body.
And that's with almost anything. If you're gonna go to a next level
Yes,
or any type
anything
of,
natural,
right?
anything
Right?
natural,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to continue when you're doing things natural, and then also beside that, I don't want to take too much time because
No,
I know
we've got
other
plenty of
guests,
time. We got
other
amazing guests. We're gonna have a great time.
But during COVID, I would make these teas like for my father-in-law, for my husband, like turmeric tea, ginger tea, because turmeric is just a natural. It's just one of those. It's a natural blood cleanser. It cleans your blood. It's also a blood thinner. You know, it's antiviral, antimicrobial. It helps fight off infections, and So I bought you a couple of those teas here. So I don't know.
Oh my
if,
God.
I don't know if you like ginger, but this
I love ginger.
Okay, so I
been
bought
like juicing and stuff like
and
here
they're cold
lately.
too because I put them on ice
Girl, don't
for
play
you.
with me.
They're cold. So I have you with this is my turmeric tea.
Turmeric tea.
So this
I
is my
love
turmeric tea.
I love turmeric. I
So
need
this is my turmeric
I like
tea. These are two of my I have 5 teas, and so these are my two. The ones that are favorite, people favor them, yes. And then I also gave you my ginger pine, but I also have regular ginger. I have ginger pine root.
Tell me about ginger pine.
Well, this is ginger pine right here, so you can
Okay.
sip that. It's cold.
Okay.
Ginger pine I made because ginger is just like turmeric, only it's just not a natural blood thinner. But it's, antimicrobial, antiviral, helps fight cancer. It's just so many benefits to ginger, right? And
I was a baddie. I should have went and found a cup and you should have shared.
oh, you know what? And I meant to bring some little cups so to share with you guys. I'm so
ghetto.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But she sipped it. It's too late. Maybe she'll share
I'ma
some
get you
turmeric
some.
with y'all.
Yeah.
But it's something to boost your immune system. During this time, you need your immune system boosted. If you think about it,
I
most
got another addiction coming.
Yes.
Yes. Lord Jesus.
you hear in African Americans that we're having blood clots, we're having blood issues. So if you're not on any high blood pressure medication, any blood thinners, warfarin, Coumadin, Plavix, things of that nature, then you can take turmeric.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not a doctor. Used to be a pharmacy technician, but I take care of my father-in-law. He's 87, and I just don't let them over-medicate him. I mean, he had 3 heart attacks. He had, not 3 heart attacks, excuse me, he had 3 strokes, 1 heart attack, a bowel obstruction. He had cancer. And he's on only half of a pill of medication and Lasix. I refuse to let them
Right.
over-medicate
'cause
him.
they will definitely
Yes,
do
they
that.
do. And
No.
like I said,
And the Lasix keeps the water maintained.
yeah, because he had with his heart attack, he had to get a pacemaker. So because of the Plavix, he was bleeding out. A lot of people, they bleed out, and he's older, his skin is thinner. So if he scratches, he's gonna bleed profusely. So I told the doctor, let's put him on. I
Yeah.
said I'm giving him half a Plavix
yeah.
a day. Okay, I'm gonna give him half a Plavix a day.
For sure.
And then he said, well, what about we just get him baby aspirin every day? So that's what he's on, baby aspirin every day. He has his Zebeda, which is half of a pill. He has his, I call it Versanamide, but Lasix, which is every other day. I have him on a probiotic. I have him on B12 complex. I have natural things,
Right.
vitamin D. And during this time, please, if I can't say anything else, get your vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D cup with K2.
I've been doing my vitamin D.
Yeah, cup it with K2 because they're saying in minority groups that a lot of those who are going in with the COVID symptoms, their vitamin D levels are very, very, very low. Why? Because we have melanin in our skin, and we can go in the sun 24/7, and we will not get as much vitamin D as our counterparts who are Caucasian because they don't have melanin in their skin. And it's just like with the turmeric. Tamala Milton. She's one of my great friends. She's a nurse and she does everything with Help Me to Health. She's on. She does KJLH podcasts and everything like that. And she was the one that told me about turmeric and how it needed to be cut with pepper. Because it makes the turmeric more effective.
With the black pepper?
Black pepper or cayenne pepper. So in my teas, they are not sweetened with any sugar. They're sweetened with honey or organic maple syrup. Yeah, so something to it's not sugar.
Right.
It can still hike up your glycemic level a little bit,
But
but
the
not as
body
much.
does digest it a little bit differently.
Yeah,
than the raw.
and it's full of antioxidants. It's vitamin C, things that we need.
Well, I appreciate that, but what I want to do is at this time in the show, if you don't mind, April, is let our listeners know how they can get some of these amazing products from you, my love. So all of your handles, please.
Okay, so you can go to. I have this is my personal business. I haven't got nothing big yet. You hear the word?
Yes.
Yet. Okay, so I do have a website at essentially yours at so it's spelled E-S. Okay, I'm about to do it myself. ESCENTUTUALLY yours YOURS .bigcartel.com. Okay, wait a minute. I need to write it out myself. Wait a minute. Essentially yours at bigcartel.com. That's my website. But you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Essentially Yours. And also on Instagram with Trinice's Teas. Oh, I don't want to touch your tea because you didn't win in.
Tea?
Yeah, but I tell people if
my
you don't
tea.
see this little picture, if you don't see my face, it's not I.
It is not you.
It is not I. See that go? That's me. It is not me. Okay, and if you see my little, if you don't see,
It's amazing.
Yes.
I'm going to chug it all down because I'm going to have to cook
yes,
the girls' room.
yes, if you don't see my little light-skinned face anywhere, then those are not mine.
It's
My
the fake
products.
ones. It's the imposters.
So you can contact me. You can reach out to me. You can also order online, and I'm just trying
order online.
to make it better, but in a natural way.
I like this. This is amazing. Now I got something else. I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another amazing guest in the house tonight. Uh-oh. We've got some noise playing. Hold on, guys. Wow. So we're back. We had some sound. And we've got Morocco in the house, ladies and gentlemen. You guys want to say hello?
Hello.
How are y'all? Look at us doing big things. So Ira joined us, guys. We're having some fun. I know I always love it when we go live. So anyway, have some good times. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have a lovely king in the house tonight. Sir, did you want to step on? Because I know we've been on the mic a lot, but you don't mind just scooting on up just a tad. And if you would like to, you can put those headphones on. Awesome sauce. And I think I might have some bio info on you. You're doing some weird shit. What's he doing? Okay, you got a bio. I just want to make sure everything's good. You
Good. 1 2 1 2.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, you going to tell me your name, sir?
Professionally known as Technique.
Okay.
A lot of people, know me as Brother David, but it's a honor to be in the building.
Okay, Technique, please forgive me in regard to our intro because we usually go, a little more formal, but I know we had a little bit of time lapse, so my apologies for that. So, yeah. How are you doing tonight, sir?
All is well. That's about the best.
All righty. Technique. Let me do this. Lord Rocker sent me over some information, so let me get my mind right, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
ma'am.
All righty. We have this very special guest, and let's go here. We're going to go to our Google account, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Technique, American rapper, ladies and gentlemen. We want to go with TECHNIEC. Born David Williams III, is an African-American rapper born and raised in Long Beach, California. He first entered the music scene with a single, Beware of My Crew, as a member of a group called the LBC Crew, which also included Trey D. Do you remember that piece written about you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Sounds like it might need some updating.
That's
but
what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
That's what Google was offering.
It's all
At least
good,
they
though.
acknowledging us,
I remember it was got me about 10 years ago. Ice Cube. I can't remember the song, but it was on Laugh Now No, it wasn't no Laugh No Cry Lady. It was the album that came out right after that. Was it the West Coast? But he had a song called Google Me, B-I-T-C-H. So as you know, when Google first started popping, so at the end of the day, people can Google you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it may be older, but you on here. We doing our thing. So thank you so very much for being in the house
Thank
tonight.
you for having me in the house.
Long Beach. So tell us about the LBC. Did you go to school in Long Beach as well?
Born and raised in Long Beach.
Okay.
From an embryo to now.
Yeah, the city by the sea. What?
Yeah,
What?
we
What?
just recently had to get my family out of there, but that's been the grounds, you know. All of
Yeah.
the mom and pop spots, all of the original businesses and black businesses that, you know, from the
Yeah.
ground up. So
We're very
it's
blessed.
been an organic growth.
That's cool. Well, I grew up in the city of Compton,
Yeah.
not too far, right over just right past Greenleaf, back over
Okay.
there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My great grandmother, you know, so Summers was in Compton.
Yeah.
And we was back to Long Beach. You know.
Gotta go back and forth. But yeah, so that's what we're about here on the Poetry of Justice show. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have a couple questions that we're going to be tossing around the panel, but just to kind of give you a feel of who you have with us tonight, just to kind of get that energy beginning to flow. This is our engineer. This is Mr. Rashid Phillips in the house tonight. And then, of course, I have to my right here, this is Mr. Jordan Bridges. He is a screenwriter here with us on the Poetry of Justice show. And to my immediate left, I have this amazingly beautiful queen, and this is April. April has a line of skincare products, healthcare, just overall health and wellness, and I think you did have an opportunity to hear some of that.
Yeah, I
so-
was hearing sisters speak, and very essential items for the people, for sure. I was trying to, you know, look it up in between time while we was waiting, so I can make sure I tune in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right.
So what we were thinking tonight, we were talking about arts and passion and just kind of knowing what you want to go for and business, you know what I'm saying? And so it's all blended together because we learn, well, I'm learning more and more my passions, but Jordan was telling us about his passions for screenwriting. He can remember as early back as the age of 6.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But one thing that I would love to ask you, Technique, is what age were you when you knew and fully comprehended your passion?
I would say around 10, 11 years old.
Yeah? I have. Go ahead. Did you want to expound on that a little bit?
Well, just coming up, I was always in the arts. My grandmother, she kind of, I guess she was trying to figure me out, so she was seeing what I gravitated towards. So anything that I gravitated towards, she kind of made it accessible to me.
Okay.
But then it came a point with her, the deal was I also had to read. So she would hit me with tons of books. And she was a devout Christian, so I had to learn the dictionary from the biblical terms and all of that as a youngin. So I started becoming fascinated with words and definitions of words, which, you know, rhyme, putting them together and making them was kind of like putting a puzzle piece together. So that's kind of how, you know, I tried out at school. You know, by the time I got to middle school, we had started attracting a crowd, and you know, so it just kind of kept going from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to know that, you know what I mean? But what I was going to say was, it something that you knew within, meaning like this, Technique, when you knew, was it something that you knew within versus someone telling you? You know what I'm saying? Like the crowd, the people, the hype, that energy? Or was it something internally like, you know what? I got this. Like, this
Yeah.
me. You know
I
what
think
mean?
it's what, you know, it's that innate thing that's in all of us. You kind of know when you got the upper hand
Okay.
with it, or when it's something that's it's definitely an internal thing.
Okay.
You know, because you got to first go to war with self on anything that you're doing, and once you kind of conquered, and it builds your confidence up to go and try and, you know,
Yes.
see how the world takes it. You know?
Sure.
So I think that's kind of like, you know, a universal thing if we actually have the time to really pay attention to it.
What I would like to do, Rashid, if we can we pull up any of your work or music that we can play for us tonight here? Technique?
Yeah, since we brought it up, I just recently released a project. Me and a producer partner of mine by the name of Els, we released a project named titled Blacklist. So it was a sequel to Blacklist called Blacklist 2. So, you know, it's on iTunes and all of the streaming platforms right now. But it's a real organic piece. Musically, we kind of built it from ground up, just throwing ideas around in the studio. And then it kind of plays out like a musical score throughout the whole project. We have maybe about 12, 13 tracks on it, but it flows from top to bottom like a score. So Els is a good soundtrack guy, so we were able to get our ideas. As I verbalize them, he's building the music around it. So I hope everybody enjoying it. It looks like the streams are starting to pick up,
Awesome.
you know, on its own. So I mean, a few people that added to their playlist.
Hell yeah, that's
proud
gonna be
about
us
that.
too.
Yeah.
Rashid gonna get it up for us.
What's the name?
The Blacklist, the Blacklist 2, Technique and Els, and that's TECHNIEC.
You did better than me with that spelling. Yeah, I didn't think of it.
Shout out to Lord Rocket.
Amen. King Lord Rocker. You see, we got him in the house.
Yes, sir.
We got Haryana Indy in the house tonight. See y'all over worldwide, Mr. Bridges.
TECHNIEC.
That's how we do it. Hey. All right, having a good time. I'm having a good time. I'm just all over the place today. I'm having such a fun time. What about you, sis? You having a good time?
Having a great time.
All right.
Trying to get everybody.
It's so much. It's so much activity. I know. All right. Let them hear too. We're gonna let them hear. Oh, okay. Cool, Rashid. Thank you.
That's the part to get.
There you go. Wow, this is gonna be a good time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to hear it. There it is, right there. Look at that cover. It's amazing.
I think that first one is an instrumental.
Okay.
it'll continue to flow through. It's more, as I mentioned, and shout out to all of the producers and musicians who took part on this project. I mean,
It's amazing.
we had everyone from clarinet players to saxophone
you
to
can hear.
bass. So I mean, it's an interesting
It's a
piece.
treat.
I wanted to create a audio piece that you could close your eyes and actually visualize what's
Right.
going on. So that's the goal. So I encourage everybody to kind of delve into that
Technique,
space.
what was that first you said when you said, because I'm blown away. Before we listen to the piece, you said that it kind of flowed. What was the exact terminology that you used for that piece, for your work? Do you remember? You said it's just
Scoring.
Oh, okay.
Scoring.
Okay, this is me. Let me tell you a story of a girl named Jackie Ray. One of my most favorite songs of all time, I have several, but one of my most favorite songs of all time is Marvin Gaye's I Want You.
Yes, sir.
And when listening to that, it's like when I close my eyes and I listen to, it takes you, I feel like I'm taking on a ride, it's like,
Right.
you close your eyes and it's like your body is literally like levitating in your mind to the flow of the song and the beats and the rhythm and the instruments and all of that. And that's where I found myself escaping and doing in that particular piece. So I need to get back to it so I can really get in the zone, with nobody around me.
Appreciate that.
In the zone, but I just also want to tell you that you got a very special shout out tonight from the ATL Technique, none other than the fabulous G. Lou. So he said he sends his love to you. So
Salute. G-Lo. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. So he's watching us down in the ATL. So thank you so much for that tonight. We got so much more to do. Hello, and how are you tonight? I want to ask. I don't even know how to start. Do I want to start with Callie Rasco?
There you go.
Or do I want to do Fernando Lopez? What are we doing
Either
tonight?
one. Everybody knows me by Callie Rasco. That's my artist name. That's
Okay.
what I go by when I'm in the streets or when I'm out at events.
Sure.
But yeah.
Callie, I'm gonna have you do me a favor. I'm gonna do, if you don't mind, King, if we gonna just shift that microphone a little bit over to King Lopez there. Yeah, we're just gonna put the mic up to you a little bit. Yeah. We all good in the hood. So
All right.
yeah, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Okay, look, I got a bio. Let me get this bio out. I got more bios to do. You know what? I want to reiterate what I said because these people have your name spelled incorrectly on Google. Remember, I think I told you that they have it as the TEs. Is that right? I'm gonna have you take a look at it because I want to make sure our listeners get everything just right.
HNIEC. That's correct.
That is proper. Okay, thank you so much. I just want to make sure when I do my download tonight that I got everything righteous. So, I'm going to get everything. Laura Rocca sent it over to me. And so, I think this one is in. There it is, right there. I love that color. There's so much information about you, sir. So I'm very intrigued. I've already have about 4 or 5 questions lined up for you when I was reading your bio early today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in the house with us tonight here on the Poetry of Justice show, we have Callie Rascos. And that is CALIRASKOE. Real name is Fernando Lopez. Born in Watts and raised in South Central Los Angeles. Growing up in the hood and struggling to survive with his single mother, they dealt with multiple evictions, and so he bounced around from city to city and school to school, from South Los Angeles to Compton, California. He then attended schools such as Locke High School, Dorsey High School, and finally Maxine Waters in Watts. While growing up in the 90s, he would listen to artists such as Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and R&B soul like Babyface and many more. He was then influenced not only because of his struggle, but this influenced him to write poetry until eventually he started writing music. Callie Rasco is now a music artist, actor, and now a videographer. He has worked with music artists such as Baby Bash and Slim 40, Kid Frost, Jay Stone, and many more. He has also appeared in upcoming films and TV shows such as Southland Bounty Hunters, with over 3 million plus views. He currently holds 15,000 followers on social media and counting. The beginning of his career has just started, and he has plans for so much more. So thank you so much for being here with us tonight,
Thank you.
Mr. Rasco.
Thanks
So
for having me.
you're more than welcome. So I just need out the gate. Tell us about your name, Callie Rasco.
Well, when I was young, I was just a little bad boy. I ain't gonna lie. They used to always be like, "Oh, that little rascal going around there, you know, messing around." I needed to kind of separate that. You know, I knew I was from California. Everybody was asking me, "Okay, you're a rascal, but where you from?" So I just put the Cali in front of it. I had to, you know. So ever since then, I've just been Cali Rascal.
That's so cool. I like that.
And
I like that.
that's kind of more when I got into the artistry,
Yes.
to doing music. I went straight to Cali Rascal. I had to separate that.
Okay. So what age, do you recall what age you were when you knew or could fully understand and comprehend your passions? Do you remember?
Well, of course, you know, when we're small, we all have this dream. You know, we want to be somebody, but I didn't fully know what I wanted until I would say I was around 18, 19 years old. I already knew I fell in love with music itself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, at 15, 16, that's when I started making music. But, you know, you're young and you're doing things, you know, you're like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, I feel this beat, whatever. But so I got older, I knew I fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was around about 18, 19 years old. I already knew I
That's
wanted to make
awesome.
music,
Wow.
or at least be involved in the industry.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember one of your first projects that you were working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I mean, the first real project that I worked on, I was probably 15 years old,
Mhm.
and it was on my block. I lived on 79th and Hoover when I was about 15, 16 years old, and there was this guy down the street. They used to call him Flintstone, and he was like, come over to my house. You know, he was like, come over to my house. I have a Apple computer. He's like, I have a studio on the computer, and we could make some music. You know, I already knew it was something I wanted to get into, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's try it out. So at 15 years old, I'm over here recording stuff at his house, straight out his living room.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nothing professional, you know, but he made it sound good. You know,
Mhm.
he was a good producer, and he made it sound good. And then that'll be one of my first projects that I ever did.
What was that experience like for you? You know what I'm saying? When you hear your voice,
Yeah.
voice for the first time.
Well, I mean, for me, at 15 years old, being that I'd never been in a studio at all,
Yeah.
whether it was living room or not in the house, I felt it was big.
That's what I'm
I was
saying,
like,
right?
Damn, you know,
For
I hear
sure.
my voice through the computer,
For
and
sure.
and I could put it on the CD, because back then, you know, CDs and tapes and stuff, you know, so I put it on the CD and played it in the car for my moms and my dad, my family, and I was like, hey, you know, check this out, that's me, you know. And at 15, it was a big deal for me, of course. You know?
Yeah. But I just wanted to say, based on you and what you've done and your acting, can you let our listeners know just more about you? We're going to go just put it out there. Just jump in the ocean. Let everybody what you know. Let everyone know what you want us to know about you and your journey.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now, you know, I'm not only focusing on music. I make a lot of music right now, and I do a lot of music with my younger brother. His name is Blueprints, by the way. You guys can go follow him at Blueprints.
Alrighty.
And my younger brother, he always said I influenced him,
Mhm.
you know, growing up, because he's seen me going through the whole music stuff. But I kind of I went from music into other things. I kind of fell in love with the industry itself in regards to recording stuff, being an actor, being an extra, just being involved in the whole music scene.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing now. You know, I picked up the camera and I just started learning.
Mm-hmm.
Started doing behind the scenes stuff, and I got involved in the whole behind the scene things. And I'm like, man, I want to do some acting too.
Mm-hmm.
And then here I go doing some acting. You know, so now I came out in a couple movies and a couple TV shows. You know, I started off being an extra and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing now as well. You know, I'm doing movies, acting, I'm doing videography, making videos for people, making videos for artists, and then at the same time going to the studio and recording my music with my younger brother.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. On top of that, you know, like you heard in my bio, you know, I grew up a lot in the struggle. Of course, you know, we could all relate to that. You know, growing up in the hood and stuff. You know, you go through some things, and you know, my mother was a huge influence for me. And growing up, my mother was always had this dream of helping people. Like, you know what, we got to give back. You know, we know how it feels, and let's give back. So she came out with this name, God's Little Voices. And I was like, you know what, Mom, with my network and with what I'm doing, I want to help you complete that dream. And me and my mom put that together, and now we have this foundation called God's Little Voices, where we give back to the people. So that's another thing that we're concentrating on. About every 2 weeks, we're passing out food, and families are coming through, and we're giving out groceries and things like that. We throw multiple events. On top of that, we volunteer with a lot of other organizations.
Well, we
And,
want to we want to partner with you. We'd be interested.
that would be
Lord
awesome.
Rocker,
You know, anybody
talk to
who's
us
willing
this week.
to do the same thing we're doing and has that, you know, has that energy to help people. Let's go ahead and get together. Let's make something happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
A passion to help others. I'm going to switch reels a little bit because this is the Poetry of Justice show. And with so much going on in the world that is, I think we should go around the panel and maybe be fair. I'm going to start with you, Jordan, and ask, what does the word justice mean to you?
I would say the word justice means, to simplify, I guess making things right, and a lot of things aren't right in the world. So it's really hard to get like true justice, especially with our court systems and everything like that. It's just, I think true justice is just, and I know right and wrong can be kind of like it could be gray areas there, but just get into the heart of what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's hard to get to that point, but I think we can get there.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. What do you think about that, pretty lady? What is your opinion on the word justice?
Oh, when you ask that question, I'm with Jordan. It's right and wrong, but it's something in my 46 years that you don't tend to see a lot of. You think that we would have gone further. All right, so I'll take my mask down. That we would have went further in this world. But it's a shame because when you hear the word, you don't think much of it. You don't give it what the word is due.
Right.
When you walk, I grew up in Compton as well. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, but grew up in Compton. It's just a lot of things that you see, and that word is it valid in a lot of lives. It's crazy,
Right.
But fair, right?
Yeah.
Make, like Jordan said, to make right? But how many times do we see it? I have 3 black sons, and it's a powerful word, but it's a word that, man, I don't hold it tightly because I don't see a lot of it.
And does it exist?
Yeah. Right.
King Technique.
Yes.
Your thoughts and opinions, sir, on the word justice.
Just as I'm listening, the 2 words that come from justice for me is righteous accountability. I feel like justice is served when it's righteous accountability. You do something wrong, you like brother says, you right that wrong. But you got to take accountability in order to right a wrong. Because it's we see it from a one-sided view because there is no accountability. It's systematic. It's set up to where it's like, okay, well, on this side it operates this way, on that side it's something else.
Right.
This is a universal term.
Right.
So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. All right, sir, Mr. Cali Rasco. Justice. What is it to you?
I would say just the right thing, finally finding, the, how can I say, I would say like a solution, kind of, just we finally found the right thing to do, because there's a lot of things that sometimes you don't get justice for, and it's really bad, it's really messed up, but, the fact that we have that justice and we can actually find a solution and really find that problem that was causing that problem. It's hard for me to explain, but I think it's just the right thing to do.
Right.
Basically, it's just the right thing to do. at the end of the day.
Thinking about a Martin Lawrence film, Do the Right Thing, right? Just do the
Doing
right,
the right
thing.
thing,
You know what's right or wrong, that balance. Accountability, like you were saying, technique, and then I was also thinking about like maybe some sort of reconciliation, if you will. I do accounting work, and so you need that balance, right? You need to reconcile. It's like, hey, it's not reconciling. These numbers not right. What's going on
Something's
here?
off.
Right?
Right.
But sometimes I wish true justice could be as in alignment as our numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like we can, in accounting, you can reconcile it and we can create that alignment. And then there's that balance. Say it,
I
technique.
said, which it is.
Talk to me, Deepa.
You know, it's as far as lining up with numbers, you know, what's the term? If it don't add up, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We got to go back and figure it out.
Right.
So, I mean, same case scenario, something's not adding up.
Right.
We not reaching true justice. So it got to
Right.
be, you know,
Yeah.
it got to be in line with the
Exactly.
universe. Yes, ma'am.
I love it, right? Without it, it just don't work. And sometimes we just don't see it. You know what I mean? But that I just always like to. I usually always like to ask that question because that's very, very near and dear to me is justice. My degree is in criminal justice. I have a passion for it. So when we were thinking about the word passion, that's what made me think about the arts. And I also love poetry. Poetry is very near and dear to me. So I just was going to ask you, if you don't, Rascal, I know you talked about, you did poetry. You started doing some poetry writing yourself. Yes, sir?
That's how it started. You know, when I first started making, before I started making music, before I even got into making music, I would just write poetry.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of love stuff, to be honest. You know, in high school, you know, just writing love poems and things like that. And then next thing you know, I'm just writing about life itself. And then I decided, hey, maybe I can make this rhyme. I listened to some instrumentals and I started trying to sing my own poetry.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I started, you know, with poetry.
Right. I think it takes a lot of courage, at least for me, to really get into yourself. You know what I'm saying? And to share the gifts and the talents that have been bestowed upon you, to know that it's time for you to share it with the world, and when to know to share those gifts and how to just keep it going. So that's why I say we're social consciousness meets the arts, you know, because oftentimes they blend together. And I know beauty is always, I think of the word wabi-sabi. You guys familiar with that Japanese term? And it's like finding the beauty in the scars. So yeah,
Oh, I
so
love that.
Oh, okay.
right, yeah, like finding the beauty in the scars. So it's sort of like when this world is so ugly. Because right now, for me, I'm gonna just talk from my place right now, guys. I know I do a lot of asking questions, and right now I'm gonna do something a little different, and I'm gonna just kind of give my opinion on how I feel about some things. And so right now, to me, it's like I've been on this planet a long time, and it's kind of like in an ugly state, I feel like, with regard to COVID, the kickoff with COVID, and just the way it's been handled from a national level to a global level. I'm thinking about balance and reconciliation right now. Technique is like, is the earth and the universe purging itself, bringing balance, making things better, worse, righteous? I mean, but it's just, to me, it's like I feel like just an energy. It's just like sometimes the energy is just off.
It's bad.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. It's just something's like, no, okay, but we got to keep going. It's sort of like, almost like the Buddhists believe is like this place is impure and contaminated. And we are these humans in this impure and contaminated space. And how do we make the beauty in that? And so it's like it's a big scar sometimes, and you got to find the beauty in the scars. So like your work and your poetry, and I can't wait to get back and listen to In the Zone with your work, sir. You know, and of course, and it's you taking the time to understand what's going to heal people's pain, what's going to make a person feel better, and just try to, just some sort of normalcy, some sort of peace and just reconciliation, just to feel better, you know. And even for me with the show, it's like it's part of my passion. It's like I know on Saturday nights I'm going to give all of myself to this show, but I also know I'm going to be blessed, and people are going to come, and people are going to, you know, take the time to come here with us and to commune and just be in a space where it doesn't have to feel so ugly. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's sometimes what art does, whether it's screenwriting, and whether it's rapping and creating new medications and writing poetry and acting and videography and all the talents. Just listen to that. All of those talents that I just named off in this room right here at that one time. We're all blessed. And those are just things that I just touched off the top. So we know that we're all way more splendor than that. But to be able to take that energy and us come here together tonight and commune, I know that we're doing light work. Does that make sense? We're making a difference. We're making a difference in people's lives. You know what I'm saying? And that just warms my heart. And I know I'm on a little bit of a tangent, but you guys just allowed me to get into my own personal space tonight. Rashid knows I don't always do that. I'm always in business mode, make the show go, make the show go. I'm over here, sending out ads to people. But tonight I want to do something different, right? Remember I said we're going to do a new, right? Yeah. We said we're going to do new stuff tonight. So now we're doing it a little different, a little blending, you know what I mean? And I think one of the most important things I'd like for us to do tonight with our space, everyone, is just to really get to network with each other. You know what I mean? And get to know, because we don't know. Look at all the talent we got here. I feel a movie coming out of some of this. You know what I mean? I see some screenwriting coming from all of this. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things we can do and many projects. And I just thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with me here tonight in Poetry. Rasco, talk to us some more. What else would you like to say for your listeners? How can they find you? Where can people find you and get your handles?
I'm mostly on social media when it comes to Instagram. I'm a big Instagram guy, so you can check me out at Cali Rasco, CALIRASKOE. Also follow our foundation's page at God's Little Voices. That's also at God's Little Voices, and that's on Instagram. But I'm also on TikTok, believe it or not. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Go to our YouTube at EW Productions Los Angeles, and that's where you're gonna find mostly a lot of my work, a lot of things that I've shot. A lot of events that I've shot, a lot of artists that I've worked with, behind the scenes, studio stuff. Okay. So that's mostly it. Check me out on Instagram. I'm a big Instagram guy. Trying to get that TikTok up though. A lot of people doing those funny TikToks. Okay. I'm pretty sure you guys been checking them out. Yeah. TikTok's going viral right now. So I've been doing a couple funny videos, trying to get showing some acting skills on TikTok.
All right now.
Voiceovers and stuff like that.
Multi-talented, huh? You just not gonna stop with it, is you?
You can't stop, won't stop. You gotta keep going and inspire others, and at the same time stay humble. Yes. And then don't ever forget. It doesn't matter what you're going through, and I know you got so much things going on in life. Don't ever forget to give back. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, is don't ever forget to give back. Make a little bit of time, for families out there. We got a lot of homeless people out here, people who are, less fortunate. And you guys know, if you guys ever been there, the struggle's real, you know what I'm saying? Yes, and as you start to grow and as you start to excel in your career, just give back, you know what I'm saying? Give back.
That's so beautiful. We appreciate that. And again, sir, Mr. Technique, we let everybody know, and I think we're going to hear a little bit more before we exit the building tonight, but everybody, how they can get in touch with you, sir, and your work.
Yes, ma'am. You can find me on Instagram. That seems to be the premier platform, TECHNIEC. But also blockrebel.com. That's my first independent business venture. It's BLOCREBEL.com. That's Block Rebel. Be out the box. You are the star, you are the voice, you are the power. Check that website out. We are an independent creative team, is what I would like to say, because anything your mind can conceive, you can manifest it into a reality. So that's where I showcase a lot of my work. You could catch any of my music on any streaming platform, from Instagram to Apple Music, Spotify, all of the the main spots. So be sure to check out, tap in, communicate with me, reach out. If I have any knowledge or skills or resources or tools that I could lend any independent creative that's coming up, I'm always open to chat online. So
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir.
Shout out to everybody.
And of course to you, Queen. How you doing, Miss April? Let everyone know again how we can get some of these amazing products, and just give us another bit of a recap of what we have available.
Like I said, you can reach out to me at Essentially Yours, and Scent is spelled with the SCENT. So ESCENTUALLY, and Yours, YOURS. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, and also Trinice's Teas, which is all natural teas. Ginger, turmeric, ginger pine, Lemonade, all have so many different health benefits to them, and just want to say I'm really enjoying the show. I'm really enjoying the show. I love to see men just doing things, and because I have 3 young men. I don't have girls. I have all boys, right? So just to see young men and men doing just awesome things. I'm just so honored to be here.
Me too.
But follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I haven't majored TikTok yet. I don't I'm old at heart. Like my kids, I be trying to tell them, show your mama what to do. Okay,
I know,
she
right?
old.
Just do it for me.
Do it. Yeah, I look young, but I'm old. Okay, but one day you're gonna see me on TikTok. Yeah, right. And so, just enjoying the show thoroughly, and hope that I can be a blessing to someone health-wise, because I'm really passionate about that.
For sure. I appreciate that, sis. And I haven't forgotten about you. Don't think you off the hook over there in the corner. But screenwriter Jordan Bridges.
Okay. So you can follow me at on IG, Instagram at Jordan_Bridges 3. You can also follow our film pages. We have now one of our films. It's at Me and the Dragon's Daughter film on IG, and then we have Children of Elena on IG, and also a production company which is called Anew Enterprise. So you can follow on IG at Anew, which is ANEU Enterprise Inc. And also, for lastly, we have a website that actually has a little teaser on there. You can see a little bit. It's called it's AnewEnterpriseInc.com. So ANEU EnterpriseInc.com.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I know it's a lot going on. People working, we working people. That's a good thing. King Lord Rocka. What's up, sir? How you doing tonight? Mr. King Lord Rocka.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you tonight, sir?
I'm feeling good. Thank you, everyone, for coming on the show. This is a beautiful platform to, express your mind and let the people know what you got going on. So, thank you again, gentlemen, for coming on the show.
Don't think you off the hook totally yet, because you know what?
What happened?
You forgot to tell us, what age were you when you knew and could fully comprehend your passion and talent?
Great question, Miss Jackie. Great question. I believe I was. The camera's on me.
You know I got my camera.
Okay. I'll wait till you're ready before I answer.
Nice camera action.
Okay. The age that I knew. I think I had 2 different phases. One when I was 6 years old, and one when I was 9 years old. 6 years old because my father's a bass player, and he would play at these local events, like outdoor events, and I would see him play, and I was like, man, my dad is on stage. So, look at him, he's doing this thing, right? That was 6 years old. 9 is when I first picked up my a pen and I started writing poetry. And my mother, she was heavy into 3 big albums: Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard, Boyz II Men album in 1994, and the third one was Tony Braxton, Secret. So, all R&B albums, right? And those 3 albums helped me want to get into music and writing, and that's how I started. And then listening to Jay-Z, LL Cool J, who inspired me? Nas, Tupac, Biggie. When I started listening to them rap, that's when I wanted to start rapping. But so that's when I knew. When I started paying attention, being aware, being conscious of my surroundings, between 6 and 9 years old, that's when it all happened for me.
Wow. I gotta move. Thank you, Lord Rock.
Appreciate it.
I'm tripping. I gotta move this thing, y'all. Look at it. It's in the way. Rashid, I gotta move that out the way. Thank you. right at the end of the show. I'm gonna move it out the way. No, but what I would love to do, if it's okay with you, sir, technically.
Rocco say you want to say something real quick.
Can I
Okay,
say
I'm gonna
something real
shut up.
quick? You
Yes.
know, just shout out shout out to my boy Rocker right here. Like on some real stuff. We came from the same city.
For sure,
You know,
for sure.
from South Los Angeles. We went to the same high school,
For sure.
Locke High School. And since I met him, he's been such an awesome person. Great energy. You know, and he's the type of person who's very humble and he loves to help people, and I respect that about you, bro. You know, he brought me on to a movie one time, and I got to work with Tay Diggs, and I thought that was so amazing. King Bach,
Yeah.
you know, that was so cool, and the same thing, you know, I felt his energy. I had to give the energy back, and brought his family on to Southland Bounty Hunters, you know, and I think, you know, when you get to meet people like that, you wanna you know keep
Connect.
connect, you
keep
know,
that
and
connection.
network and help each other out and help
Yes.
each other grow. You know, what I'm
Yes.
saying, no negative energy, and
Exactly.
just letting you know I respect that and appreciate you, bro.
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you too so very much. I really do appreciate that too. I got to meet Lil Rocka over 4 years ago
4 years
now.
ago, yeah.
Yeah, I met interviewing him here for the very first time. We were in the smallest studio down the hallway, and like you say, some things are just meant to be, right? And that's how the energies and the spirit and the universe wants it. Then we roll with it. But I have the utmost respect for him. And he just blows me away almost every week. He just gets better and better. And you got to be around that. Iron sharpens iron. And if I'm the
That's true.
smartest person in the room, then I need to get into another room. So I'm blessed to be here with you creatives. And I think we all just going to keep that positive energy flowing. Sound good?
Yes, good. I'm gonna post that on Facebook. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I need to be in another room. Man, wow, bars, Jackie. Wow, I like that.
Make you want to snap, right?
Right. Poetry of Justice show.
That's just how we do it.
That's how we do it. Exactly.
Oh my God, I have had a blast, you know. But I'm just intrigued, and I just got to go where the spirit leads me, and that's just what I do. So, if you don't mind, Technique, can you give us another selection that Rashid and we can share with our guests tonight, and then we'll get some commentary, and then we're gonna talk to Mr. Rascal, and we're gonna get up out.
But yeah, so I like the vibe of the Blacklist too. I definitely want to stay there. It's a record that I released with a rapper by the name of Blue. He goes by her favorite color, I believe, on social media. But he's a real well-versed MC. But this record we called Can I Live. This record was created around the time of, you know, it was a lot of turmoil, especially after the untimely departure of Nipsey Hussle, and a few things were going on. And it was just, it's not even a question mark next to it. It's can I live? It's kind of like a passive aggressive thing. I'm not really asking at this point, but, you know, can I live, you know? Is kind of the effect. Just coming from a young black male's perspective, growing up in Southern California, we know how that goes. But so this is just a vibe, something that you could ride to. Can I Live? Produced by L's Technique and L's Blacklist 2, now streaming everywhere.
Boom. I'm in love. I'm in love.
Man, that's dope.
I like that beat.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, who made that beat?
Yeah, that beat. Yeah.
That beat is crazy.
It is. It
Our
is.
production is L's. That's why I definitely had to share the marquee with my bro. Because he did a hell of a job production wise. A lot of it, we have a little formula. Me and him, we bounce ideas off each other, and we just sit there and play around with the ideas until we can feel it. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping everybody could pick up on the vibe of this project. It kind of grows consistent through. The second Blacklist is a little bit shorter. We have 8 tracks on that one. Blacklist 1 is 13 tracks, but it's all organic, ground-grown material.
Wow. That is amazing.
One of my favorite records on that album is Nike's On. Yeah, I see.
was that?
Nike's On. Woo, that song slamming, man.
That's it, bro.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
We
records.
just,
on there.
for the poetic and the justice, I definitely wanted to put that
sorry.
Can I Live on there.
Yeah, most definitely.
We spoke on dark places and dark times and things of that nature, but the sun shines within, so
It
we
does.
trying to manifest it out with it.
Yes, sir. Is there a Blacklist 3 coming?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we're blessed with breath, and me and my bro, man, we done so much material, so many nights in the studio that I don't want to depart this planet without just getting rid of everything. So we liquidating our hard drives,
Yes,
God
sir.
willing, these next few years, you're gonna hear a lot more material.
Is that me, she?
Yeah. Gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Word.
All right. Yes, sir. Man, that's beautiful, man. Is there a music video? Is there a music video for Can I Live?
Can I Live does have a video.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
It's a real cool. We just took a day, got with a cameraman brother by the name of Juwan Bryant, and we, pulled the Corvette, little slingshots out, and we just kind of tried to, just had a vibe. We just rode around town, and just
Dope.
captured those.
Oh yeah,
those images.
definitely gonna watch that. That's on YouTube already, right?
Word.
Yes, sir.
So that's
That's beautiful, man.
Blacklist too, huh?
Blacklist too.
Wow. We've had I don't even know what kind of time have you guys had tonight? I had an amazing. I don't know if that's
Amazing
the word.
time.
Yeah.
I needed this.
Great
The
time.
energy
Great
in
time.
here is amazing.
Yes.
Word.
See?
I appreciate y'all having me for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, that's what we like to do here. What was you gonna say a little bit?
I was gonna ask him why Blacklist? Like, what's the meaning behind that? Why is it called Blacklist? That project.
Well, I'll try and be real quick with it. So, I from a young, I got my first record deal in the industry at like 14, 15 years old. I knew nothing but the fact that I just loved to rap. But on the same note, we were in school, so I'm coming up in a time where we were being encouraged to read about the industry, understand what you're getting yourself into, understand contracts and things of that nature. So throughout that time, once I'm one that found that once you get into the industry, it's not always a good thing to ask too many questions, And from that, once you start learning the ins and outs of certain part of the game, you have certain people that are in key positions that don't want you there because you know too much. So henceforth, Blacklist. But the one thing about it is I personally vowed to just remain independent just for the sake of my integrity and my manhood. I took that and I wore it as a badge of honor with the Blacklist. Like, you know what? It's a blacklist. Like some of the best and the most, the greatest artists, the greatest of anybody were blacklisted from some sort of, crew or whatever was going on. So, we took it and we rolled with it. Life's good, you know what I'm saying? Life should not just be dictated by someone else's approval of what you should be doing. We blessed with very unique talents. And it's for the people to decide, it's not for, one or two people to try to dictate the outcome. Let the people decide. And wherever the love is at is where I want to be. That's what it is.
Yes, sir. That's real. That's real. Jordan, how do we transition at the film? Are you afraid of being blacklisted? And how do you plan on, like, if that happens, like, you're like, oh, I'm going to just do it independently? What's your take on that?
I think you can always do film. You can do anything independently. Like you said, where it's a badge of honor. I don't think you should ever let somebody else dictate how you create something. So you should always stay true to yourself, because I feel like you know, at the end of the day, you know, metaphorically sell your soul, then it's not gonna end well. Like you're not gonna feel like justice within. Like you're not doing yourself justice.
Right.
So you know, you
I
always
sleep well at night.
Exactly. You want to stay sleeping well at night. You know.
That part right there. Boom.
Right. So you're willing to take, like, let's just say Warner Brothers is like, I want you to put this in your film, but you don't consciously and morally agree with it. You're willing to go, no, I'm good. I'll just do it my way.
You know, it's funny. They tell you not to. They tell you to accept that. That's what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, you know, especially as a writer, they're like, okay, one of the, like, when I was reading up on it, or just, you know, just being in that industry, they're like, as a writer, you can't get married to your ideas, because the studio is gonna a lot of times take it and change things. You know what I'm saying? And as long as they keep the integrity of my vision and everything and what I wanted to get across, then that's okay. But I think you're talking about extremes, and so if they were like going to take it and like just go. I was like, you know, you got to draw a line somewhere. I think so.
Yeah, compromise is good, but too much compromise is too little compatibility. That's
Right.
what
You
it
know what I
comes
mean?
down to. It has to be a balance in anything that we do, and trying to find that balance is always the challenge. However, you got to be open-minded enough to know that sometimes I'm going to have to give a little, but you know, if it come to the point where you got your we use a buddy of mine told me you walk around with your boxers on backwards. You gotta get it together.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, Kelly Roscoe? Like, how do you, like, you know what, nowadays, it's just so sensitive, man. Like, people are so sensitive about a lot of stuff. Do you care about that kind of stuff, or do you go, you know, it's my creativity, so you gotta, you know, respect it?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you say, in my case, you know, I do a lot of the filming and stuff. So not only that, not only my directing, but I'm also editing the videos and stuff. And I do think about, oh man, like I get worried sometimes. Are they gonna like it? Am I doing too much? You know, is this okay for them? You know, but at the end of the day, it's my creativity, and I came to learn that I gotta be myself. You know, you cannot try to be somebody you're not. You know, it's just be yourself, and the right people are gonna like it. You know, those are the people that you want around you. You know, you want that good energy, and the ones who are not gonna like it, they just don't belong around you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can, you know, go their way, and even, you know, as long as they don't come talking about your name and stuff like that, that's a different story. But for the most part, you know, the ones who do like it, they're the ones you want to keep around you. You know.
Yeah, that's real, Miss Jackie.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just saying what he said. That was real. What he said. I loved it.
I know, right? You had a good time.
Yeah, awesome time.
I know, right? Thank you for being amazing.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to be
You
amazing.
guys didn't get to meet my sister. My sister's usually here with me. Her name is Lori G, the Benefactor. And so she's my sissy, and so she's been doing the show with me. We've been doing it 5 years now, guys. So 5 years strong, and so she's off playing in Carlsbad. She's doing golfing or something random. But so it's kind of good to not have to share the mic. It's like, oh God, got Lil Rock over here. Like, what's happening? We made it happen, Lil Rock.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
But guys, you can always catch us here. Again, the Poetry of Justice Show with Jackie Ray Phillips. We're on yikesradio.com. We're on acceleratedраdio.net. We have our YouTube channel, which is the POJ Show with Jackie Ray. And we're also on our live stream on Facebook. And we did a little bit on Instagram tonight too, guys. I did a couple little reels. We did a couple little IGTVs and just kind of keeping that going and flowing. And we just going to be here. But what I would love to know, would you guys be willing to like come back again and like hang out? And, I mean, not like totally hang out. I know everybody's hot, but we had like great shows like Lord Rocker. You remember that show we did was a couple weeks ago on relationships? Remember?
Yeah, that was great.
So sometimes it's not necessarily you guys about. Well, of course, it's always about you because you're going to bring the energy and the love. But let's say, for instance, we may have a topic we did like relationships, men versus women, little shits like that. You know what I mean? Just other little fun stuff, just to pick people's brain and just to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And to commune and talk about topics because that's what Kevin Nash likes on Yikes Radio. Things where people are going to be like, oh, what? what? They said that? Like, oh my God. So we could get away with it here on the Poetry and Justice Show. We could totally get away with it, and we're going to have a blast. And I know we've got some good ideas. So much coming, you guys. And we just open up our hearts. And we just open up our minds, and there's nothing we cannot do. And I promise you, I'm going to tap in with each and every one of you. I'm no stranger. I will ask. You see, I got my hands out because life in abundance to the full, to the overflow. And I'm just getting all my blessings and all my overflow. And we just going to line with everybody. And we ain't stopping. I keep my Shelly. She was like, get him. I'm like, girl, I can't stop if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop when I'm dead. When y'all knock me out, she stopped. Bitch did. Oh my God. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us. We're going to just chill a little bit. You want to just give us some cool, smooth music, Rashid, and we just commune and love each other and get ready to outro and do some photos. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Lord Rocker, who we got next week, babe? I have no clue.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
I know. Lord Rocker, we got to look at the calendar, but we will be back here, ladies and gentlemen, the Poetry of Justice Show, yaxradio.com. Jackie Ray Phillips. Let's do it, Rashid.